My name's Jenny, and for the past 40 odd years I've been involved in psychic work. And I'm here today to start off with to show you some of the tools of my trade. Now, as all good magicians will know, you have to adhere to the elements and you have to give relevance and homage to the elements. And we do this by making sure that we've got something representing each element on the table that we're working with. This sort of puts us in tune with the God element. Here we have something that represents the air sign, which is it's actually a paper knife. The knife is representing the element of air because the sword cuts through the air. The pentacle represents the earth sign because we want to represent earth. The stick or the rod or the baton represents the fire element, and the goblet represents the water element. And you can see that my goblet holds one of the tools of my trade, which is the crystal ball. Now, the crystal ball is wonderful if you want to increase your psychic ability, and anyone that's starting off with psychic work, if they want to know are they capable of doing psychic work, well then look in the crystal ball, and if you can see things in the crystal ball, well, that's a good start. You hear on the table are various different packs of cards. Now, I started originally, before I knew about the tarot, during my teenage years, with the ordinary playing cards. And of course there is numerology associated with the playing cards. I went on and found out about the runes, the Nordic runes to start with. And then later I was introduced to the tarot when a pack was given to me. Now, you're never supposed to buy your own tarot. They're supposed to find you if you are meant to read them for others. And the first pack that I got was given to me by a complete stranger, which the gypsy tradition says then I'm allowed to use it. But before I got that tarot pack, I'd studied the runes. I went to art school and I heard about brevity of line and such like things. So I decided to make my own runes. I made them on a square so that they can be cast, and any side of the square can come to the uppermost part, and that's the part that we read for someone. Now, all these things could be read for a client. Someone wishes to know the future. Most of the people that have come to me over the years, it's been because of their love lives. So I've been a kind of observer of people's lives over many years and seen many kinds of different situations. And finance is another reason, work problems. People come to psychics not just for them to see the future, but very often after seeing the future and knowing that somebody's given them some information that they didn't know, then they can trust that psychic, and then the psychic can sometimes become the agony aunt. Now, that is the downside of this work, because sometimes you can become too much the agony aunt. And once you know too much about the individual person, then it's very hard to be objective with a reading. So I prefer not to know about my clients, and if once I do know them as friends, then it's very hard to read for them, because the client is a blank page to me. So when I sit down with them and read the tea leaves or any other method, I need to have a clear mind. And if I know too much about the person, then it can cloud my judgment. So I'm a kind of impartial observer of their life, using my psychic ability to glean whatever I can to help them. And I believe that any psychic worth the salt should be in this work to help people and to do good. So if you like, I'm a kind of white witch. I've written 2 books, and the first one was about the runes, which I think are fascinating. Since learning about the Nordic runes, which you can see here on my table, and designing my own, I've studied more the things that we see on standing stones, the patterns. We know that Odin, the Norse god, was said to have originally design the runes after hanging on the tree of life, I think it was for 9 days, and he was doing that to gain wisdom. And of course the runes then morphed into the Latin alphabet, which again morphed into English. So my first book was about the magic of the runes. Now I believe the magic is not just in the rune itself, but also in the person that's looking at the rune. So, and the runes, they're so ancient that no one actually knows exactly what they mean if we're talking about divination. We know what they might look like as an alphabet letter, but there are traditional meanings. For example, the spear-like rune is the male. This rune is the female. So we have got traditional meanings, and we've got names for all the Nordic runes in the Nordic tradition. But the rune spells, where we put things together and make a kind of motif, a kind of talisman for ourselves. So something that's a talisman for me may be a different talisman for you, according to what your needs are with your particular issues in your life at that point in your life. The second book is called The Soothsayer, which is my journey through life, all the psychic things that have happened to me over the years, all the strange and wonderful experiences that I've had, out of body experience, past life experience, and various different stories of the people that have come to me wishing me to do a reading. So that's an introduction, and I hope that you've enjoyed listening to it. Next time I'm going to be giving a forecast for each zodiac sign. So thank you for listening. Bye bye.